In the few months that K.A.R.D has been around, they've made quite a splash on the K-pop scene. Their numbers are constantly growing and their fan base is getting bigger every moment. So how exactly did they pull this off? When it comes to boy groups and girl groups, there is clearly a difference. Men often showcase badass and mature concepts, while women often showcase cute and sexy concepts. And even if a boy group does a cute concept, it's never as cute as girl groups. And when girls do a badass concept, it's never as badass as a boy's. It's not that either gender isn't capable of being cuter or being more badass. It's the companies and the culture that limits them to gender norms. Korea isn't exactly the shining beacon for gender equality, yet somehow K.A.R.D has managed to find a good middle ground. When you look at K.A.R.D's style, there is nothing inherently more male or female about it. Boy groups tend to wear more bold, extravagant outfits, and girl groups tend to wear skimpier ones. Each gender group has a specific style that is inherently locked to their gender, but not K.A.R.D. If you look at K.A.R.D, their style is chic, fashionable. And while BM at times may dress more masculine, or Somin may wear fishnets, they all seem to encompass the same exact style that isn't limited to one gender. Their style feels gender neutral, and it's further apparent in their choreography. It's no secret that there is a large difference in boy group choreography and girl group choreography. Boys tend to incorporate more sharp and fast movements and a lot more power moves. Girl groups tend to be more girly, for lack of a better word, and more fluid, sexy, or simple. Even badass girl groups like Blackpink tend to just do simple choreography and sell it with attitude. Look, I'm not disparaging girl groups, I'm just holding them to a higher standard because I know they can do better. Because there is a difference between this and this. I'm sure plenty of girl groups could do power moves, but it comes back to the companies limiting them. This is evidenced by the disbanded group, The Ark. They seemed like a girl group who are going to straight up do powerful choreography that's typically reserved for men and really change the game, but they were axed before they could even properly debut. People are often put off by aggressive women, and so even the most badass of groups tend to maintain a sense of femininity. Now, when it comes to contemporary K-pop co-ed groups, most people often cite Co-ed School as the more memorable one. It was the last time someone really tried, and a handful of people even liked them. However, even when they debuted, I knew they were doing it wrong and a breakup was inevitable. Take a look at how this video plays out from Co-ed School. They show the guys all together and then the girls all together. They're presenting one gender and then another, and by doing that, they're not creating a good cohesive song. And when the boys and girls actually do the same dance together, the choreography is boring and lazy. The guys don't do anything more feminine, and the girls don't do anything more masculine. They try to make it neutral by making it boring. And so the band feels more like a collaboration between a boy group and a girl group, and not one solid group. At one point, the girls are even shaking their butts. But what are the guys doing? Well, the guys are just in the back waiting for their turn, doing nothing. But K.A.R.D is breaking gender barriers with their choreography. If you watch their choreography closely, very rarely do they do separate movements. Most of the time, they're all in sync. And so the girls are given the opportunity to do more complex choreography just like the guys, and so when they do something that's more feminine like twerking, it doesn't feel like a cop-out. On the flip side, the guys are also doing movements that are more fluid and sexy. It gives them the opportunity to showcase that men are capable of portraying sex appeal in a way that's more feminine and fluid. In fact, the dance itself is what is so gender-defying. It borrows a bit of fluid sexiness from female choreography and a bit of complex sharp movements from male choreography, and they meet somewhere in the middle. Most of the choreography is completely gender-neutral, aside from the occasional twerking, which is sparse compared to the runtime of the song. So Co-ed School flaunted the fact that they had boys and girls. It felt like two different forces, and in their performances, they're reacting to one another. But K.A.R.D doesn't do that, they react off of one another. It presents the audience with a more unified representation of the group, and it's that subtlety that makes them work. This is the key to K.A.R.D's appeal. They are not a K-pop group for boys, and they are not a K-pop group for girls. They're just K-pop artists. And by breaking down gender barriers, they have the audience focus more on their music and their dance itself, as opposed to the gimmick of being a mixed gendered group. And honestly, K.A.R.D is on the cusp of doing something revolutionary. You see, the K-pop industry is built on trends. When electronica music was in, everyone was doing it. When the hard boy concepts were in, everyone was doing it. If you look at the curve of K-pop from 2007 to now, there's a clear trajectory on how the K-pop scene music has evolved based on the electronica trend, dubstep, and trap. And because these formulas have proven to make money, that's why new groups are always debuting left and right with familiar concepts. Sure, co-ed groups have been tried and done before. Some people may be wary going in, but K.A.R.D is the group to look out for because they could be the Steve Jobs of K-pop groups. K.A.R.D could be the group that mainstreams the co-ed concept. If they prove successful, it'll force competing companies to put out co-ed groups of their own. That's how business works. If you force innovation onto the industry, the competitors will start to play catch-up to try and one-up you. Now, to this day, there is still yet to be a successful co-ed group in contemporary K-pop. Sure, there have been a few attempts, but as I've shown you, when it comes to history, it doesn't matter who did it first. It only matters who did it best. And who knows? This could be them. K.A.R.D could really change things, and these four could be the ones that usher in a new era and the next phase in K-pop. That is, if they keep playing their cards right.